I do not care. Let me turn that up. Good morning, everyone. Do not have a perp, but you haven't. What do you mean I don't have a... Hold on, I'm doing things. Yeah, I'm gonna move that over here. Accounts. Trovo, kick, here we are. Ah, itch. Itch. How's everyone doing? Are y'all having a good Tuesday morning? There we go. I am having a pretty okay morning myself. Let me check stats real quick. Data output. Yeah, things seem stable enough. Cool. All right. Let me just do something real quick. Yep, it works. Although for some reason, Kick isn't really showing up there, but... Yep, seems to be working just fine. Bitrate 0 on YouTube side. What? Hold on. Probably just need to hit that. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay. Looks like we are prepared. I was just getting Caster Labs up. We're just going to be running around and doing random shenanigans in Endfield. Let me get that open and then also find my controller. There it is. I had a bit of an issue with the controller I was using. It is, unfortunately, it is a PowerA controller, which means it is sort of, how do we say? It's a good controller, a good budget controller. However, after a while, it kind of just, they do have a tendency to kind of just shit themselves, so do with that what you will. Okay, is Endfield gonna launch or what? Because I would like to switch scenes. There it goes. Let me go ahead and switch. Yep, things seem to be working just fine. Cool. Weeknights. Let me turn off the BGM as well while I'm at it. There. Go back here. So I got, this time I wanted a controller that would actually last quite a while. Is it responding? There it is. So I got an actual Xbox controller. And this whole time... Wait. Am I still... Huh? Come on. Start the damn game. Thank you. I should probably move this to the side just a tad. So I want to lean back. I don't want to switch things. Hababa. Hababa de gabda. Wanted to lean back, but I wasn't sure if I could. So I've been playing a bit on my own, just a little bit. And I'm over here. Right underneath the galaxy. Huh. Caster Labs, did you not send that to YouTube? Huh. Weird. Yeah, whatever.
この先に裂け目があります。ネファリスもおそらくそこに管理人。今回の目的はネファリスとの戦闘ではありません。どうやってタタを裂け目の中心まで連れて行くかです。
A worried emote. I don't even know what I pressed.
気楽にね。ここまでいろいろあったけど。
Dun 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 dun. Da da dun 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 dun. Da da dun 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 dun. Da da dun 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 dun.
私たちはまた。
Da da dun 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 dun. Da da dun 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 dun. Da da dun 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 dun. Yes, let's do this. Let's fuck some face. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I need her so bad. She's so perfect. Get out of here, Temu Dante. Orya! Oh no. She's so cute. Oh my god, I need her so bad. When is her banner? Now, don't do that. Let's go! Killy Beach! We're being allowed in. That's the epicenter. So there's a PS5 in the middle of this thing. Ew. Hoo. That's not good. Marble. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that one. Ow. Ow. I need healing. Ow. For some reason. Bonk. Boop. Bloop. Where's... Oh, there it is. Ha! Get perfect dodged, idiot! Ha ha! Why does it have such a nice butt? Oh no, it's hot! Nope. Nope. I thought I would make it. Nope. Why? Bonk. Release that too soon. Ha ha! Get cock blocked, idiot! Nope. Oh. Oh! I'm so goddamn stupid! No! No! Ha ha! Bonk! Ow. I don't think it's very happy with me. That is not the... Oh, I'm... I got chained! Give me a second, I need healing. Ow. Nope. Oh my god! Nope. Ow. I'm not getting chained again! Never mind. Man, I suck at this game. Not this time, bitch. No, 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 no! Get ulted, idiot! Oh. Whoa! I should probably switch to last right. Bonk. Nope. Don't use the thing! Julie! Please! Wait, what? Well, we may have lost two of our characters, including the administrator. No! Tata! No! Not the robot! Shut up, bitch. She's gonna get everyone killed. Oh my god! She's going Super Saiyan! Ah, cock blocked by the mask. Tata, what are you doing? Tata, don't you do it! Tata, no! Gone like the wind, but not forgotten, never forgotten. And it did.
その思いに応えて、タタは裂け目を閉じる役割を果たしました。私たちを、4号やちを守ってくれたんです。今度は私たちの番よ。もっと多くの人の力にならなくてはね。そうだね。最後に言っていた言葉。仮にアリスはあなたのことをよく知っているようでした。あなたの記憶はまだ戻っていないし、敵の全貌も見えていません。もっと慎重に動く必要がありそうです。
Endfield is not fighting alone.
管理人、デリカ観察官、聞こえますか？エネルギー高地の進路が急速に低下していますが、裂け目を閉じられたので。
ええ、そちらは問題なく。
皆さんが無事で何よりです。基地からの支援も間もなく到着します。こちらに戻ってゆっくり休んでください。
I see. Is that a fact? Is that a factoid? Oh. Sniff, sniff.
おーい、みんな、お疲れ。エネルギー工事にいた他のみんなも戻ってきたとこ。
Ah.
ついにやったんだね。
とにかく。
Ah. I was not expecting that. Kind of getting a little bit of frame rate.
高地を奪還したことで、4号やちも落ち着きをと予定していた歓迎会もまだだというのに、お祝いしなければならないこと。
何十年、ずーっと管理人はそうだったよ。危険だって言っても、でも管理人に全部やらせるわけにいかないよ。この先のことは俺たちに任せてくれ。
その言葉忘れませんよ、アンドレイ。この後の報告会は一緒に出てもらいますから。でも今はほんの少し肩の力を抜いて休む。
Rift ceiling. Wait. Wrong button. Ah. Wait, I think that gets me... 3 bosses right off the bat. And... not quite. However, we are very close to two whole multis plus half a multi with tickets. Wrong button. Oh, never mind.
ようやく一段落ですね。
新種に
はい。危機は脱したものの、工業団と調整管理人とペリカ監察官がいらっしゃる前に、すべての報告に目を通しました。
Is Valley safe for now?
メディアの報告によると、ボーンクラッシャー懲役実験場と研究所の周辺にわずかな残党がいますが、工業団連盟は文明地帯。しかしまさかランドブレーカーが懲役に関わっていたとは。工業団も艦タロ商会も黙って見過ごすことはないでしょう。
4号谷地の再建には多くの課題が残されています。エンドフィールドだけでは難しいでしょうから、工業団の機能が。
私も同じ考えです。管理人が構築した修正工業システムのおかげで、中枢基地における生産と県こちらにアンドレイが作成した中枢基地およびアンドレイの話では、修正工業システムのサポートがあれば3ヶ月程度で災害前の状態に戻せるとのことですから、ペリカ監察官も管理人もまずは少し休んでください。
Work-life balance is important.
少し外の空気を吸いたいと思ったんです。
Can I have 30k? 30k. But I don't have 30k. 30k?
ようやく消すことができました。管理人、体の具合はどうでしょうか。あなたはいつも無理をしてしまうから、目覚めてからずっと戦わせてばかり。
How am I pushing myself too hard?
記憶だけでなく体も万全。あなたは
I think maybe you just have a bird brain.
英雄として戦ってきました。しかし誰も考えることはないのです。どうしてあなたが眠りに。
Wait, what the fuck? You have human ears. I just noticed that.
失敗しないわけには。
What's with the feathers then? I like how a lot of the demi-human races here are just, they have animal ears, or in Perlika's case, she has feathers on her head.
自分の判断があなたの計画を狂わせていないか。どうする。
And you've been very strong indeed.
アンゲロス、ランドブレーカー、そして侵食。4号やもし協約コアがなければどうなっていたかわかりません。着実に進めてきた計画が実を結んだ証拠です。以前あなたは言っていました。傷だらけで掴む勝利は。
Yes, and that's a bit optimistic and naive. I also like how I just nodded.
災害で失ったものはまた作ればいい。協約はすべての要になります。私たちを結び、4号谷地は協約コアが踏み出した最初の一歩に過ぎません。けれど今だけは。
Hey, mental pause. How's it going, man?
たとえ一瞬の安らぎだったとしても、新たに生まれゆくこの街を
Hold on, I need to
一緒に見届けてほしいのです。
check. Hopefully it'll still show me any notifications.
管理にエネルギーコーチの近くには
Right.
多くの侵食が残されています。
No, don't switch.
に戻る前
Oh,
に
I
や
can
らなければいけないことが
do the thing.
イボンヌはここに
Well,
いないのですか。
first,
おそらくオリジニウム研究パークに戻っているはずです。
bring heal everyone,
今後の
because I suck at video
相談
games.
しておくべきかもしれませんね。
And do I have any? No. Please leave me alone. Now then, we're gonna go over yonder. We're gonna upgrade the Djang and its functions. Give them gifts to raise their trust in you. What if I don't want to do that, huh? What if I don't want to raise their trust? And when is the marriage update going to happen? Because I think that'd be very funny. Hello, lady. Upgrade. Yes. All right, let's see what changed. Hello, Chen. Last right. There she is. Her outfit is amazing. Wait, her mood is really good. Do their moods improve every time I give a gift? Okay, it's not that way. Where's the working sector is what I've unlocked. What do we got here? Empty cabin. Cabin. Oh. Oh, it's one of these. Let's see. Let's give this to... So, you're already working. So I'll give this to you. Wait. Wait. So, do 24 hours. Wow! Close enough. And I can't go that way. Okay, I'll go ahead and take those. Elementary cognitive carrier. What does that mean? Some experience for leveling. Okay. So this I'm definitely gonna need. Okay, close enough. Hey there, Pelika. Who I need to find. Why is... Oh, hello. Ardelia. Design is so cute. Offer a gift. There you go. Leave. Alright, let's see. You know, somehow I completely forgot we were doing that. Go to the cabin. Growth cabin. Growth chamber. Okay, so I have to go back this way. There she is. Liveton! Oh! Thank you! But I'm also gonna give you something, except I don't have anything to give you. Fuck. Sorry. Wait. Acquisition chamber. Poisonal exchange. Bundles. Stock distribution, that's what I need. Let's see. So let's buy a few of these. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that. Yeah, stock trading. Let's see. Factory goods sold out. Where are the gifts? I want gifts. They don't have gifts. They don't have gifts at all. That's 12,000. Ooh, that's expensive. That's a bit cheaper. Okay, those. Into the thingamajig we go. Ba, 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 ba. I want to upgrade. Yes! I can do it now. Not what I meant. Alright, let's extract the side of the red bullet. And whatever that says, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Calconix. Oronix. Go ahead and do more of that. Okay. We got more spots. So, come on. There. Perfect. In 27 hours, so a little bit past tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and... get some of y'all to... Damn, it takes that much? Why are you using this? Didn't I have... Wrong button. Oh, right, because that's a regular sword, not a great sword. Actually, I have a... Not what I meant to open. Let's see, where is it? Where do we keep them? Here we are. The wielder is also the controlled operator. Double the attack increase gained, and buff the final strike so it deals stagger to the enemy. anyway. I like how there's only 2 gray swords that I can pick from. Neither of which I can use for her. Oh, poor last right. Alright, let's teleport over here, and I should probably go ahead and trade with my settlements and then get the new settlement as well. Come on. Come on, game. Great distribution. I am indeed. Except not really. You know, these gifts will probably... see what I need in order to upgrade you. We'll go ahead and do that. More types of goods can now be traded. Alright, lucky cut it. Let's do this. I'll take that. What's this? Oh. Jesus, those are expensive! And there's still no thing. Whatever. I should probably start visiting the owls before reset. Unless it's a fixed interval. What do I need to upgrade you? Ah! Let's see. All right. Wrong button. To increase exploration level. Let's do that real quick. Go to the mysterious protocol space. It's over there. Man, that frame rate. My frame rate is like non-existent right now. What the hell happened? It's so choppy. See if it'll get fixed by reaching up. Oh, it's starting to fix itself. Probably just had a shit ton to load. Ah, there it is. Oh yeah. I love how Leviton is front and center. Last right, why are you looking so cool? how do the kids say it nowadays? Aura farming. Ow. Yeah, whatever. Okay, hold on. I need to stand up for a minute. Ow. Ow. Exploration 5. Deep dive mode will become available for some protocol spaces. Challenge them. The highest difficulty is. Still stretching my knee. Give me a minute. We're gonna go ahead and end menu there. What? Okay. Starting to feel better. Old sports injury from my LARPing days. Come on. Yeah. I'm gonna put on some YouTube in the background. Check Twitter real quick too. Oh, come on. That's not...
次はどこに行こうかな。Okay, 1 second. I do need something to drink. Be right
right back. Let's see. We're a betting man. Slow to fly. James, probably that corner. Turn on my light while I'm at it. Skibbity doo dah, skibbity day. My oh my, what a rizzling day. Don Lemon is criminally indicted.
Don Lemon has been criminally indicted in Minnesota. We're going to get that today on Legal Mindset. We'll teach you to be your own judge. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney.
Yeah.
This is a fast facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest legal news. We have a little bit of a new format today, so if you like that, you like the format, make sure you let me know in the comments below. So let's get right into it with the facts. First of all, we have our defendant here, former newscaster Don Lemon, who was part of a organization, part of a group that led anti-ICE protesters into a church worship service. Now, originally they had tried to indict him separately. However, they've gone again and done this, and that's been led, of course, by Harmeet Dillon and the plaintiffs of the DOJ, who have brought federal criminal charges against him successfully now in court. So let's get into what those mean. We have the
Don Lemon did it again?
He's named Don Ronaldo Lemon, along with 9 other individual defendants, 2 of which are redacted by the court, and that's under 3 separate.
He did it twice. Is he retarded?
Different charges that are part of 2 separate counts. So they're charging as 3 charges, but there's 2 counts. The first is 28 USC 241, which is conspiracy against rights. And the next is 18 USC 248, the FACE Act, of which they include 18 USC 2A, which is aiding and abetting. So essentially, they say under this act, even if he's not the principal, even if he's not the person that led the way, he was not the exact one who's in charge, he still aided and abetted, and that makes him liable under 18 USC 2. So let's get into
that gets me to 10K.
The actual meat, the substance of this. What does conspiracy of rights means first? Well, there's 9 co-conspirators, including the protest organizers, and they are charged with a whopping 29 different overt actions which are possible to convict. Important to note here is that it really only takes 1. So of these 29 things, if they can get them on one, just one, they can make a conviction here. And that's what's really important. And that's what makes this case very difficult in the position of Don Lemon, because he's got to defend against all of these things and say, hey, look, I didn't do any of them and none of them were me. I had no liability here. That's a very, very tough fight. So what do those things include? Well, they're things like posting on Instagram. So when you're releasing information on Instagram, on social media, that is what they call an overt action, something you're openly taking an act that goes towards the crime. You might have other things such as gathering physically to conspire, them kind of doing a little team huddle beforehand and saying, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. This is exactly what we're going to do. That's conspiring as well. You've got live streaming the Don Lemon show. That is explicitly mentioned in the criminal complaint, that the live streaming of the show was part of this criminal conspiracy. Then you've got stating they were keeping the target secret. I'm going to show you on the next slide where Don Lemon himself was part of this, where Don Lemon himself said, hey, I know what's going on. I know what the target is. I know what the location is. I am not going to say it. So he said openly, I know what it is. We're keeping it secret. That is not journalism. That is criminal conspiracy. Next, you've got entering and disrupting the church service. That's very straightforward. That's something, hey, look, physically you went into there and you disrupted the service. That's the FACE Act.
Yeah, we'll go
get
ahead
into what that means exactly. You've got gesturing aggressively and hostilely. Remember, there were women, children, the elderly in this service. They were going out there targeting people, targeting vulnerable people like children and the elderly, and going out and committing this criminal conspiracy. They were also physically obstructing the service. They didn't just come in there and yell and leave. No, they actually obstructed the service to the point where it could not go on.
I need a sand
and then you've
leaf
got
and
blocking
carbon.
a minivan of children. This is once there's many other acts. This is not all 29, but one that I think is particularly disgusting because they try to take this out not just on the pastor or adult men or whatever else. They took this out on children. They went out there knowing this was a bus of children and went out there and obstructed it. Absolutely monstrous behavior by these. Then you've got this particular overt acts I want to point to from the actual criminal complaint, but we've got Don Lemon here, and let me read this out. During a discussion with Defendant Armstrong at the pre-op meeting, Defendant Lemon thanked Defendant Armstrong for what she was doing and assured her that he was, quote, not saying what's going on, i.e. was not disclosing the target of the operation. Defendant Armstrong explained that Operation Pull-Up was a quote-unquote clandestine operation in which she and other agitators would, quote, show up somewhere that is a key location where the targets don't expect us.
This is an operation that is secret.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere, they don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
And we disrupt business as usual. That's what we're about to go do now. And Defendant Lemon said he would see her there. So it shows he knew.
You know
Lemon
what?
knew
I'm just
exactly
gonna skip.
And then another overt act. So once again, this is one. They can convict just on this, enough for a conviction.
You know what?
But look, we've got another overt act 7. Before heading to the church to join his co-conspirators, Defendant Lemon advised his live stream audience that we're going to head to the operation. Again, we are not going to give any of the information away. That is, i.e. operational details. So we see right there with these things, absolutely knowing what's going on and not disclosing it. That is, ladies and gentlemen, conspiracy. And that gets into the FACE Act. The FACE Act is a freedom of access to clinic entrances. Now, yes, the title would make you believe this just applies to abortion clinics, but that's not true. It actually protects both abortion clinics and churches. So it's kind of even-handed. We got something that, hey, the left likes that. Well, the right likes churches, right? So we're going to protect both. We're going to protect abortion clinics just the same, equal-handedly, with we're going to protect churches. Very fair and I think fairly applied and fairly balanced criminal act. And it criminalizes physical obstruction to intimidate, interfere with, or injure persons. So whether or not you're going to an abortion clinic or whether or not you're going to a church service, someone cannot physically obstruct or interfere with people that are going to access those locations. So if you're going in there to going to the abortion clinic for whatever, and these clinics do for other reproductive health reasons, you might be going to them, you might be getting a checkup or some sort of STD test, whatever else, you cannot be physically obstructed, intimidated, or interfere with. And if you're going to a church service, you can't be physically obstructed, intimidated, or interfere with. Very, very fair. And for first-time offenders, because remember, Don Lemon would not be a repeat offender. He's not someone who's, got a rap sheet that's leading all the way into Tulsa, This is something where you've got up to 6 months of prison or a $10K fine, right? So you've got up to 6 months of prison, that's real prison time, or a $10K fine. Most likely they would give him a fine, right? So he most likely would be fined under this, but it is possible he could get some prison time. So prison time is not off the table for Lemon. So what does this mean? Well, I think this is an excellent test for application of the FACE Act. And I also think particularly for journalists, because Lemon is going to still use the journalism defense. He's using it all over social media. That's the clear criminal defense here, is to say, this is journalism. I was a journalist. The problem is knowing you were going to do something criminal. When he appeared to have knowledge of a planned church service, the second he had knowledge they were going to a church service, he crossed the line from something that was potentially legal and potentially covered and potentially a peaceful protest to something that is absolutely not okay. Any communications between Lemon and the protest organizers are relevant, and it appears they already have proof of that because he live streamed the whole thing. When you live stream your crimes, just like Vitali or Somali or any other nuisance streamer, when you're out there going out and actually showing your crimes. It makes it very easy for the police, very easy for law enforcement to convict you, because they can just point to your stream and say, there you go, you committed this crime live in 4K. So I think there's a high likelihood of success based on the number of overt actions. You only need one to convict, but we're going to have to see. Obviously, that's on the
$160,000 for this?
The burden of proof is on them, but I think Don Lemon has to seriously sweat over this. I don't know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get a different vidya up. We'll listen
Going
to
back
some
to school
Fox
doesn't mean starting
News.
from scratch. At Purdue Global, the learning you have
Please leave me
gained through experience you
alone.
already have matters.
What do you mean? Oh, it must be for this
So here's the
location
Massachusetts bill.
specifically.
Probably the craziest gas bill we've seen yet. $0 in
not.
usage generated a $587 bill. Here's a vacant unit
I
in
know.
a rental
I know
property,
what's going on.
no usage at all. I know it says current charges for gas,
So yeah,
supply zero, maintenance and infrastructure investment, cost of Eversource to deliver gas. Okay, so this is gas and not electric.
Okay, so what I'm
Maintenance
gonna
and
do?
infrastructure investment,
actually,
by the way, $505.95. And then public benefits, $81.99.
Stash
Cost
that.
to support energy programs
Why did I do
authorized
that?
by the state. This charge is dependent on usage. $0 in usage generates an $82 fee for
We're gonna
public
move
benefits.
you.
And $506 almost for
Over
maintenance and infrastructure. Like, actually insanity. What is happening in Massachusetts? What the fuck? How is gas that expensive? Your gas bill is like $10 a month? Well, when I asked my uncle how much he pays, because like I have family both like in Mass and New Hampshire, so I can ask them for like the cost of things.
We're gonna.
When I asked an uncle of mine how much he pays for his like delivery for gas, he was like, well, I get propane, and in the winter it goes up because you have different prices depending on the summer and the winter. And he said he was paying around
We need
$1,600
sand, so
per fill for like a 500-gallon tank.
Seed picking.
And I was like, that sounds really expensive. Propane and propane accessories. Propane is super expensive. Yeah, it's crazy. Does he fill it yearly? He does the smart thing, and he will prepay for fills in the summer when the price is cheaper. So like he was telling me how much it would cost if he were to fill in winter, but he purposefully will, like in the summer when the prices are lower, he'll buy like 3 or 4 fills, and then he'll be able to use that in the winter instead of paying the winter price. The fun tip that propane companies don't want you to know.
On Thursday, Republican lawmakers in Richmond criticized Democratic colleagues in the state Senate for prioritizing redistricting to gain more seats in Congress instead of matters they believe hit closer to home for average Virginians.
Instead of us focusing on affordability, instead of us focusing on making sure Virginians keep money in their pocket, the first bill that's going to the governor's desk, the first bill the governor's going to sign,
1-to-1
is going to
which
be
it should.
one
Yep,
of
and
a
we get 2
partisan
seeds out of it.
gerrymander.
In response, Democratic Senate leader Scott Surville blamed cost of living issues on the White House.
We want to talk about affordability. Let's talk about tariffs. Because right now, Congress hasn't done a damn thing to stand up to what's going on across the river on tariffs.
Right now, Virginia has a $2.7 billion surplus. So 7 News is asking Democratic leadership why propose new taxes and where would that money go?
Well, I mean, much like we're seeing in New York, I'm sure that surplus isn't going to last very long. How long did it take Tim Walz to blow through Minnesota's surplus? You know, once commies get control of the cash flow, that surplus turns into a deficit real fucking quick. Less than 2 years. I hate when my browser does
No
this.
answers yet, but I was able to find some spending proposals circulating in the Capitol. Those ideas range from raising teacher pay, which always gets a lot of support, to lifting the cap on how much tax money cities and counties can give, not loan, give to local government employees so they can buy a house. Delegate Dan Helmer
Yeah,
from Fairfax
see,
County
my
says
taxes are already used for tons of shit I don't want them to be used for. If I heard politicians being like, yeah, we're gonna actually put into law that we can use your taxes to buy ourselves homes, I'd be like, excuse fucking me? Excuse fucking me? Suddenly I am French and know how to build guillotines. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? Teacher pay should be tied to performance? 1,000%. 1,000%. I am completely against raising teacher pay after seeing how not only horrible teachers are for the past like decade, but also how much teachers end up giving to democratic causes through their pay. Like we've gone through multiple articles and multiple people digging into teachers unions, dumping tons of money into democratic candidates, and it's like that. No.
housing grants are important for recruiting good people.
In our community, my
okay, now we've got
work for government too often.
Hell
they
yeah!
Can afford to live in our community.
For the second day in a row, I've been asking for comment from Democratic leaders in the House and Senate, along with Governor Abigail Spanberger, about their thoughts on these tax proposals. We have not received a response, but we will keep on trying. Reporting in Arlington, Nick Minox, 7 News.
Oh, that's a fun name, Nick Minox. I bet he has fun saying his name all the time. Why pay teachers more for failure? That's a great question. Next question. Caroline V, 73, swore by a life of prayer and celibacy until a sexual awakening at 57 turned her life around.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I became an escort in 2017, V told podcast hosts Billy and Lauren on Tea at 4. When I became a born-again Christian and we couldn't have sex, it was like, well, I didn't enjoy it in my younger years anyway, so it's not going to be a law. So that's how I managed to go through the 40 years, partly, obviously, because it wasn't allowed in the church, but also because I didn't have any interest. It was only when V joined her first dating site that she began to receive attention from men who found her sexy. Sexy 57-year-old granny buddy. I even started getting messages from 18-year-olds who were keen to meet up with me.
What?
Being young enough to be my son is one thing. Being young enough to be my grandson is just wrong on so many levels.
Refining into
despite later admitting that she had a 20-year-old client.
Wait, I think I have plenty of those, actually.
Brother, I know it's legal, but the thought is still grody.
Pretty sure I have plenty
what
of
goes
the
through the
dust,
brains of
too.
like an 18 or 20-year-old guy that's like, yeah, I want to stick my dick in this grandma. Like, what? What the fuck? A lot of 18-year-olds following Benjamin Franklin's advice on choosing a mistress. Is the blowjob better if she removes her dentures? I imagine it must be, right? After meeting someone through a dating site who introduced her to the idea of swinging, V was told that she'd be good at and would be paid for escorting. How is she falling for the same lines that literal 18-year-old women do? What is happening? I seriously needed money because my mortgage companies, plural, were trying to repossess me because I couldn't afford it. After this, V looked into phone sex after watching a program about how a woman made enough money to renovate her house through the side hustle. She then met with a photographer who offered to film her solo work for a mature website. We made a video, and that was the very first thing I did, V said. Man, V, now known as the Busty Granny, earns thousands every month and has appeared on popular UK TV shows, including Jeremy Kyle and Filthy Rich. Hey, so that's kind of weird.
See, I need
That's kind of weird that she's being invited to talk shows for being an escort. Despite her jump into the adult world, V said she doesn't feel that sites such as OnlyFans are worth her time. Why? I'm registered, but I've never done anything on it. It's all about content. You've literally got to upload content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Day and night, that's all you do. Good luck to them if that's what they want to do, but I would find that incredibly boring. V said her job doesn't entirely revolve around sex and that it's just an added bonus at the end. I've got a man that would like me to go on holiday with him. It's not purely sex, it's so much more. She's literally a sugar baby as a grandma.
Whoops.
That's crazy. And she's also admitting to being lazier than an OnlyFans person. She's like, yeah, you know, I need money, but I don't want to post content all the time. She must have that grippy if the hag lovers are lining up. This is a whole new universe of hag love, bro. 40 years celibate. This is what happens when you stay a virgin for too long, man. You just go hog wild. MILF Hunter, no, this is fossil hunting. Oh my god, Granny! Grandma! She does have enormous fucking tits, though. That's probably, like, close to the same size as my mom. V now describes herself as the older version of Bonnie Blue and maintains that she refuses to be trolled. Just because I'm now 73 doesn't mean I should stop having sex or showing off my body, she said. I'm proud of my achievements. If people are bothered, that's their problem. I mean, she do have some massive honkers. Right, like, she's in good shape for 73, I will say. But that doesn't mean you gotta be, like, an escort grandma. That's kind of wild. Can't really ruin her future. I mean, you know, I guess that's also true. She's at the end of the line. Dear boss, let's close the daycare Friday so staff can attend a protest, parents can miss work and maybe lose income. But they'll understand because I'm going to assume they share my politics. And whatever, anyone who doesn't agree is a fascist anyway. This is a fucking post here. And it's an email, I guess. Hey, redacted. I totally understand that this is a long shot and would perhaps inconvenience some parents. But I thought it would be really incredible if Redacted considered participating in the national shutdown this Friday to show solidarity with the state of Minnesota and reject the heinous actions of ICE. Personally, I would love to participate in the protest that is planned for that day. I would like to show up for the people in my community, which includes many people I work with who are likely to be more closely affected by the current administration than I am, and use the privilege that I have as a white woman to stand up and protect my neighbors in any way that I can. Hello, fellow white woman. I also understand that without the support of the whole center, it would be detrimental to the team and to the kids for those of us interested in participating in the protest to leave classrooms understaffed. That's why I thought it would be amazing if Redacted would consider closing that day, so those of us who are able can take the opportunity to stand up for our communities and protest against the horrific events that have occurred in the last few weeks. I think this is incredibly unreasonable. Why would you think that, like, your political issue here is worth shutting down the entire work and inconveniencing tons of parents and children? Like, this is kind of crazy. She should give up her job for someone else and she has so much privilege. That's true. That's true.
Okay, so I need
People
to make
citing their
a
own supposed
source
privilege is so tacky. It really gives that, like, smug, I am the white savior aura, and it just feels grody, man. Including, but not limited to, the murders of Keith Porter, Renee Good, and Alex Pretty. I also thought it would be amazing to bring awareness to the Redacted community and show solidarity for many of our own staff who have already been affected by ICE's despicable behavior. I've included a couple links with more info. Thanks, Redacted. I like how this person with, like, zero self-awareness sent this to their boss, like, their view of things is the default correct view of things. Like, it didn't even enter their brain
that's kind of
that,
funny.
like, any of their coworkers or even their boss would disagree with their political position. Why would anyone disagree? You're the main character, imagine. I don't understand the people that think they are the main character. Like, even in the, like, worst depths of my anxiety, when I was like, I don't want to leave my house because, like, people might talk to me and acknowledge my existence. What if like, you know, someone starts recording me because I have a panic attack, you know?
I have plenty
like,
of these.
Nobody's gonna be really paying attention to me, and logically I understood that. But that's why, like, the anxiety brain takes over and, like, makes you like worried of things that are astronomically not going to happen.
I've got plenty of those.
But this isn't even like anxiety brain. Like, I don't know what this woman's doing. Like, literal main character syndrome. 100% a copy-pasted activist statement. Also, yeah, probably. Because we have seen before people posting, like, boilerplate emails for you to, like, edit and send to your bosses. Actually crazy. I'm glad you felt safe to ask this question. I plan to send something out to all staff tomorrow letting them know about our decision on this. Redacted will be open on Friday since we're a small business and parents are depending on us to care for their littles. I really hate when people refer to little kids as just littles. Like, it's like a weird, it makes my skin crawl thing. And I've only started seeing it in the past couple of years, and I've only seen it from people on the web. I'm hoping that since staff can't be a part of this, there are other ways for them to show support.
Okay, good.
I fully respect you asking about this and for your thoughtful email. God damn. This is a picture of, like, Brian Stetler saying, what we're seeing in Minneapolis is how powerful visuals tied to real people can shift public understanding almost instantly. And all of the public understanding of all 4 of these incidents shown on screen was wrong. There's one group of people putting out accurate information, being like, well, in some of these cases, we can't tell what happened, like Alex Pretty. And there's some other people who are like living in a complete different reality, saying that Renee Good did nothing wrong, crying about that old man being taken out of the house even though he was harboring 2 child rapists, saying that that 5-year-old got arrested when in fact ICE had to watch that 5-year-old when his father abandoned him and his mother refused to take him. We are living in 2 different realities. And it's like, how do you ever start bridging that gap when you have people who just refuse to believe in what's actually happening? And whenever you talk about what's actually happening, you get demonized for it. How can we have any kind of conversation? You can't, you don't. Which is like, what are you supposed to do? Capitulate and stop talking about it so that the lying narrative is the only one that exists? Like, what can be done? When cognitive dissonance occurs, you can close the gap by changing your view or by changing reality. That's the wrong answer, but so many people pick that one. Well, it's like, it makes me wonder, like, right, you're never gonna reach the people who keep lying about this, but the people who are lying about it are also the people who attack you for pointing out what's actually happened in each of these cases. And it seems that telling the truth isn't an actual defense anymore, so what are you supposed to do? It makes me sad. Alex Pretty is an awful but lawful, as you've heard. It's described by angry cops. A logically sound take in your opinion? I have the same exact opinion. It's awful, but it looks like, from all of the information we have, that it would be a lawful shoot. I've heard that... I haven't seen the tweets, or rather, I haven't saved the tweets, but I've seen some tweets saying that several of the Border Patrol officers who were trying to detain Pretty did have body cams on.
Rawr
And so hopefully we can get that body cam footage eventually, and hopefully after the investigation we'll see what they say. 1996 magazine ad that says, they say in 30 years a burger and fries could cost $16, a vacation $12,500, and a basic car $65,000. No problem. You'll eat in, you won't drive, and you won't go anywhere. And I immediately thought, damn, how fucking long has the, like, you will own nothing and you will be happy messaging been around? How long has, like, this kind of rhetoric been pumped into mainstream consciousness? What is this advertisement advertising? Okay, that's a great question. 1996 ad, actually from 1994-95 per sources, is for TIAA CREF.
How many do I have?
Promoting their retirement planning and investment services for educators. It highlights potential inflation to encourage saving for the future. Snopes confirms it's authentic. Just so you know, it goes further than just the left's continuous lying in the U.S. It caused the media in Europe, and you assume across the world, to repeat their lies and cause the politically unaware to hate the current U.S. on an international level. So
okay,
if you're ever wondering
I'm
why
gonna
the
do
world hates the US,
instead
because
is
left selling them continuous lies. Well, I feel like it's a little bit of continuous lies and then a little bit of we hate America being world police, but still give us tons of money, America. You know? Probably a little bit column A, a little bit column B. U.S. Senator printed off an AI photo of a headless ICE agent to shooting Alex Pretty and entered it as evidence on the floor of Congress. And there have been some people unironically trying to defend this picture, being like, actually that picture did happen. It just went through an AI to make it more clear, and it somehow removed the agent's head. You know, the picture is still quite different from the AI one. I just think that, like, if you are a sitting member of Congress and you try to use AI to, like, make an example out of something you're talking about in this regard, and you're not talking about specifically AI, you should probably recuse yourself, because you've pointed out that you are not intelligent enough to be part of any kind of the conversations for the direction that our country is going in. Scroll down. Yeah, they have some other. Please use the real photo. This is definitely real. I love the invisible ICE agents. I love it when they get wet and you can see their abs through their armor. Stephen Colbert is now suggesting that it's an insult to Nazis to compare ICE agents to them because the Nazis were better.
What?
I beg your finest fucking cheddar pardon.
Bavino went on complaining. Look, Dana, they're trying to portray Border Patrol agents and ICE agents as Gestapo, Nazi, and many other words.
Yes, do not compare ICE or Border Patrol agents to the Nazis. That's an unfair comparison. The Nazis were willing to show their faces.
That is a wild thing to say, man. They're like, all right, now that we've gotten everyone riled up and believing that their opponents are actually the Gestapo, their politically othered opponents are actually literally Hitler's soldiers. Now we have to escalate things beyond that. Now they're not just Nazis, they're actually worse than the Nazis, which means you need to do worse things to them than you would if they were just simply a Nazi. Sonic Extreme, thank you. Left towards meme AI art, you can't do that, that's wrong. Left towards whatever this is supposed to be. No, that's all right, actually. Imagine. He's having a Boogie 2988 moment. He's doing that. At least Nazis and rapists believe in something. What the fuck? Boogie said that? What the fuck? We have Kathy Griffin once again.
Those of you that are awake, that see what's going on, what do you think the solution is?
That
I think
should be
the
a
murder of
good
Renee Good, the murder of Alex
source of
Preddy,
that.
putting children on planes and taking them to detention centers, which are really concentration camps. Call it what it is. They're concentration camps in the United States of America in 2026. So take that.
I mean, we all know that they're not concentration camps, but I feel like the reason they call them that is to prime people for when the Democrats get back in power and actually make concentration camps. They can be like, well, you guys already did it first, so why is it a problem if we do it now? And everyone will be like, yeah, that's right, there were concentration camps. You love all the celebrities pushing for the plebs to go out and die in some sort of retarded revolution. It's very weird to see these incredibly rich people who don't have to face any of the consequences of what they're telling people to go out and do.
I'm only doing this
to then try and activate people to die for a cause.
For
it's just incredibly like disturbing to me, and especially because like these celebrities will be cheered instead of condemned for escalating violence. Sarah Mathis, thank you. This isn't new messaging. David Lammy, UK Justice Minister, called Trump Super Mustache Man in his first term. Oh, I know it's not new. It's been around for like over a decade, but it's been escalating this whole time.
Get in, and I know you don't want to participate in something radical. I don't either. I wish I could just go on the road and do my funny stories about celebrities or making fun of politicians, but not even have to acknowledge this. But it is happening all around you. It's happening around you. I live in Los Angeles. It's happening at targeted places in Los Angeles.
I mean, look at how much they screamed when I sent cease and desist. And that's all I did. Anytime you defend yourself, you are de facto in the wrong. Anytime you prove them to be the liars and agents that they are, you are in the wrong. You are the dangerous one. How dare you tell the truth? How dare you attack this poor multi-million-dollar company?
And I think it's time to talk to the neighbors in real life. It's time to talk to your neighbors, find out if they're MAGA or not. Sorry, but we have to know who's on our team and start to plan. Is there a way we can do something as a community?
What do you mean by find out if your neighbors are MAGA, quote unquote, and then find out if you can do something as a community? What would you even do? What would you even do? Are you calling for some like Jim Crow era, we need to get these MAGA folks out of our neighborhoods? That's kind of weird. That's kind of strange. You're getting to the property in the mountains, and anyone who gets within a mile of your cabin will better have a valid reason.
When I hear from my followers in Minnesota, they describe a very sophisticated channel of a system of things that they do to help one another. And they use encrypted apps. And like I said, everyone has whistles and honks their horn, but they organize in small groups. And they have told me that they learned this from the George Floyd incident because George Floyd was murdered 20 blocks.
I think it's really dangerous to encourage people to interrogate their neighbors and find out if they're MAGA, quote unquote, and encourage them to follow around those people in their neighborhood who may or may not be MAGA with whistles and other utensils. That's a very dangerous thing to tell people to do. Not because anyone who is MAGA might be dangerous, but if you are psychopathic enough to start stalking someone, hey, that's a crime, brother man. What are you doing? Call me Gestapo. What she's describing is a terrorist cell. You would have expected the Republicans to start a second Red Scare to combat commies, not commies starting a second Red Scare to hunt Republicans. I mean, the hunting of Republicans was kind of always in the cards here. Like, I'm not surprised. You always forget this woman is a comedian. Where are the lefts? The Democrats are going to ride around in white hoods again, aren't they? Are you surprised? Aside calling everyone Nazis is copying the Nazi playbook. I'm just waiting for them to, like, you know, find a town that is mostly conservative and then start smashing out the windows of the conservative businesses. I'm just like, that's going to happen. Like, there's no way it's not at this point.
Blocks away from these other murders, roughly. And so they said they learned a lot from that experience. So I'm just telling you guys, live your life, but be conscious of this. And if you're silent, you're complicit. Sorry, I know I'm being a judgy bitch, but that's how I feel. Here I am being preachy.
If you're silent, you're complicit. Yeah, go stalk your neighbors. See how that works out. Please don't actually interrogate and stalk your neighbors. That is not good advice. That is advice that could lead to you getting arrested or even worse. Please don't do that. A federal judge in New York has agreed to dismiss federal murder charges against Luigi Mangione. This takes the potential death penalty off the table.
Wow.
So we got some breaking news now from the federal courthouse in downtown Manhattan. The judge in the Luigi Mangione case has now issued a new ruling with a major impact with regard to the death penalty. Nate Foy live outside the federal courthouse where he is set to appear. Mangione is in about 30 minutes. Nate, what is going on now? The ruling.
Hey, Bill. Good morning. So the judge just put out some written opinions ahead of the 11 a.m. federal hearing where Mangione will appear in two major decisions here. One of them for Mangione's defense and the other one against. The biggest news here is that the judge has agreed with Mangione's defense team to throw out the most serious charge against him of murder through use of a firearm and another firearms weapons charge.
So we literally have him on video using a firearm to kill the CEO. How does that work? How does what even is our legal system anymore? I don't understand. So you could assassinate someone and commit first-degree murder? What is going on in this country? Great fucking question.
Arch. This means that the death penalty is now off the table in this federal case in New York State, as far as the state case doesn't do the death penalty. So this means the death penalty is off the table for Luigi Mangione. The other big decision that we are learning from the judge today is the judge denied Mangione's defense team's request to suppress some of the evidence. Now, Mangione's team argued that his constitutional rights were violated when police searched his backpack while arresting him in Pennsylvania. They found that ghost gun that prosecutors allege was the murder weapon that Mangione allegedly used to kill Brian Thompson, the United...
Is that a thing? If they find the guy that is suspected in a murder and they search him, is that really against your rights? Can they really not, like, search you when they detain you? I always thought that they could. I always thought that that was, like, normal. You don't see how it is, sort of. I have no idea. I would need, like, someone like angry cops to explain it to me, you know? Yes, murder is okay as long as you're good looking. This is literally like, well, technically CEOs aren't human, so he didn't actually commit a murder. Like, stop and frisk was outlawed in New York for a while. Oh, boy. Breach, thank you for the 11 months, thank you. I think there was something about how the woman cop who searched his backpack turned off her body cam while searching it. Can we just stop?
It is going all right, Eris. How are you doing?
The cops fumbled every single step of the arrest and booking and chain of evidence. They messed up so bad the prosecution has lost evidence. The cops are dumb. Are they dumb? Or are they just New York
probably
cops
just put all of
didn't want this guy
focus
to get
everything at the...
Of course they can. If it's reasonable, it falls under the 4th Amendment. You can imagine, but there's a reason the plea got thrown out.
I like how they
fucking Lord.
split
Healthcare
off.
CEO back in December of 2024. Police also found his journal that some have referred to as his manifesto, where you could get an insight into his thinking.
All right, let's
Again, his defense
change
team argued that his constitutional rights were violated.
He was arrested in Central Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah, that's fair, but still, cops could be complicit. They could have still not wanted to have him actually get charged. He has a manifesto.
I'm gonna
a legend.
stash
I
all
would like to
these.
see it.
Because there wasn't a warrant for that search, the judge denied that request, so that evidence will be allowed at trial. This decision, both of them, will have a big impact on the federal trial, including on the timing. So we knew going into today that the jury selection would happen in September, but this decision on throwing out the murder through use of a firearm charge will impact when the actual trial will start. So if the schedule holds, the federal trial will now start in October. The state case is sort of in limbo right now because the Manhattan DA's office wants the trial first. They want it to start July 1st. Mangioni's team hasn't officially responded to that yet, but they have put out a statement where they called that unrealistic and say that they will need more time to prepare for this trial. The hearing today is still going to happen. Mangioni will appear again at 11 o'clock, and the judge will lay out the next steps here. But the big news today is that the death penalty is off the table for Luigi Mangioni. We'll send it back to you, Bill.
Okay, wow. Okay, Nate, thanks on those developments in Lower Manhattan.
I have to do it this way.
Confounding and crazy to me. A bunch of judges need to be removed legally. Yes. Yes. I agree with that. But if the cops fumbled it, then it's not the judges in this case. He's very handsome in each picture. You know, he's thinking, I am a lady killer. I am also a killer. It'll be very interesting to see the trajectory of what Luigi Manicotti does after he gets out of here. I thought it was really funny, all the lingo they used in this article. Doofus steals NYPD uniform from precinct and is found wearing it a day later after passing out in NYCHA building. A daring dingaling snuck into an NYPD precinct, stole a police uniform, and walked out the door unnoticed while wearing it Monday, prosecutors said. Timothy Adams, 37, was found a day later passed out in the nearby Clinton House's NYCHA building, still wearing purloined police duds, leading a concerned Good Samaritan to call 911 to report an unconscious cop. Officers responded and found the defendant passed out in the NYCHA building that he does not live in, said Megan Versaire, an assistant district attorney for Manhattan. Daring dingalings could be here,
I'm gonna
chat.
stash
They know
this
about the
too.
dangling. I can't stop talking about the dangling. My whole life is the dangling.
He is still wearing the same NYPD uniform. The alleged post-plunder nap led to Adams' arrest and arraignment Wednesday on burglary, larceny, and criminal trespassing charges in Manhattan Criminal Court. Adams, a homeless crook with a mile-long rap sheet that includes 3 felony and 23 misdemeanor convictions, is no stranger to allegedly stealing police property. Then why the fuck is he still on the street? Why does this keep happening? Back to the story here. Homeless crook with a mile-long rap sheet. He was convicted in 2021 of breaking into an NYPD vehicle and stealing an emergency service unit vest, a baton, and live ammunition. The arraignment unfolded with Adams wearing ill-fitting clothes, rambling to his public defender as Versaire detailed the fresh accusations that he brazenly walked into a secure area in the 23rd precinct along East 102nd Street. Video surveillance showed Adams stride past 2 signs reading authorized personnel only and into the administrative office at around 5:40 a.m. Versaire said, and the court documents detail. This isn't even a video, it's just an image. How Adams was able to walk into the precinct remained unclear Thursday. They usually have a station house security, a police source said. You're supposed to be greeted by someone when you walk in. Once inside the office, Adams took a uniform, flex cuffs, keys, police documents, and other items. He is caught on video entering the 23rd precinct, walking past the authorized access gate, and subsequently exiting the precinct while wearing a uniform and holding a blue bag. The heist was ultimately foiled Wednesday at about 8:30 p.m. when the 911 caller reported finding Adams unconscious inside the NYCHA building at Lexington Avenue and 108th Street, about 6 blocks from the precinct. Adams, once roused, allegedly told arresting cops, "I took everything from the 23rd precinct." He just admits to it. I mean, why wouldn't you if you keep getting released anyway? The hearing pulled double duty as an arraignment for a separate larceny case in which Adams allegedly stole $2.45 from a tip jar inside a business along Madison Avenue on January 6th. Versaire said Adams, who had pleaded guilty to attempted burglary and attempted robbery in several open court cases, committed the NYPD theft while awaiting sentencing in another case. His criminal record stretches back to February 2002, when he was arrested for criminal mischief and making graffiti. Judge Jeffrey Gershony set Adams bail at $10,000 cash and ordered a psychiatric evaluation. Adam's next court date is January 26th. I really hate the psychiatric stuff, because, I mean, if you are too crazy to be allowed into society, why do we keep you around is my question.
What do you mean?
Streamer and rapper Aspen Cartier arrested on animal cruelty charges. Jesus fuck. Chicago-born rapper and streamer Aspen Cartier has reportedly been arrested on charges of animal cruelty in Georgia. According to Atlanta news outlet WSB-TV, the 19-year-old, real name Aspen Easterling, no wonder she went with Cartier, was booked on Friday, January 30th, after a video circulating on social media appeared to show her abusing a Maltipoo puppy. Easterling was identified as a suspect, and after her Town Boulevard address was confirmed from the video, officers obtained a search warrant and arrested the drill rapper at her home.
Okay,
the fuck is a drill rapper?
Should be
the
good.
The 3-month-old puppy was also found at
This
the
should
home
make it a bit easier for us to...
3 months old. This bitch beat a 3-month-old puppy? What the fuck? The dog has since been taken in by the DeKalb County Animal for Control... DeKalb County Animal for Control for Protection. Do they mean just animal
Let's see
control
how this
for protection?
works.
While Easterling is currently in the DeKalb County Jail. The Twitch streamer has over 71,000 followers in the damn, she bigger than me. Although her page has since been temporarily taken down, as TMZ detailed. The video showed Cartier grab and toss her dog by the nape of its neck, which can cause severe pain and injuries. In a follow-up clip, Cartier denied hurting her dog and claimed that he was over-exaggerating. The dog was over-exaggerating? Tell them that you're fine. Tell them right now. Cartier told her dog, who was whimpering in the clip below. Bro, it's a dog. You can't... What do you mean, tell them you're fine? Yeah, the dog exaggerated. What the fuck? Aspen Cartier responds to allegations of her beating her dog on stream. Why you beat? The fuck? I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. Is that the tell them you're fine? The news comes after the streamer's Twitch channel was listed as temporarily unavailable after PETA spoke out. When reached for comment by Complex, a PETA spokesperson said that Twitch was right to take action on Cartier's account, though the extent of the action remains unclear for now. People are rightly horrified by the video in which Aspen Cartier raises her arm several times and appears to strike her dog as he wails.
Okay, we're lasting a bit longer this time because we're able to respond a bit quicker.
Anyone who would beat and terrify their dog should never go near one. Twitch was right to suspend the account, and now we urge authorities to immediately investigate, prosecute if appropriate, and hopefully seize this dog so that nothing like this ever happens again. God damn it! Yeah, hopefully she's not allowed to fucking own a dog again, because what the fuck?
I got
How do you fuck up badly enough
own...
for PETA to get a W? Yeah, imagine fucking up badly that people actually agree with PETA on something. You agree, but PETA has no room to talk with their KDA. Very, very ultimately rare PETA W, unironically. You don't trust PETA at all? They run kill animal shelters that kill pets at a rate 800 times higher than the other ones? Yeah, just because they're an evil organization doesn't mean that they can't be right every once in a while. Even a broken clock, right? We have an Asmongold clippy with a leaflet appearance. The leaflet said in one of her videos that she would pay for plane tickets to send Ilhan Omar, a US citizen, back home. This is just Leaflet's way of saying go back to Africa, which is still incredibly racist. Except Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud, so she's not here legally. Which means she should get sent back. She should go back to Somalia. She should be deported.
People get mad and they talk shit about this, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that more people are starting to speak up against it. Yeah. And I'm glad that, I'm going to be honest, I'm glad that more creators are getting hate on social media for not supporting ICE and for making virtue statements against ICE. I think that content creators need to deserve, I think they deserve, and I think they need a lot more hate, and they need a lot more pushback for being able to virtue signal about how bad ICE is. I do. I'm really glad to see more people speaking up against it. And
it's crazy that the people with the fuck ICE narrative believe that their point of view is the one held by the majority, and they try to bully people into compliance when it's like, no, the majority of people do not think that ICE is a bad thing. The majority of people, in fact, voted Trump into the White House with immigration as one of the biggest issues. And just because you support the majority of what ICE is doing doesn't mean that you can't see individual instances and be like, hey, maybe that agent was possibly in the wrong. Maybe something got fucked up here. Just because you support the majority of what's happening doesn't mean you support 100% of it, you know? Anti-ICE agitators burned Minneapolis during the Summer of Love? Absolutely. You don't care that Ilhan Omar is from Africa. If she was Asia, send her back to Asia. If she was from Europe, send her back to Europe. If she was from the moon, send her back to the moon. True and real. I do not give a shit where Ilhan Omar is from. Send her back to wherever that is.
You know, taking a stand for these weirdos, right? Especially streamers. I want to see it happen a lot more.
Allie.
Well, people get mad and they...
And it's wild once again, and I hope we'll start seeing it because the amount of people that were able to get away with celebrating assassinations or wishing that an assassination had succeeded was crazy to watch, to be completely fair. To the moon! Yeah, surely Ilhan Omar going back home could make Somalia great again, right? If she is such an asset, surely she could make Somalia great. We had TMZ crying about Don Lemon being arrested. Don is an actual journalist, though. These fucking people. These fucking people. The law doesn't make one journalist more equal than others. That's something out of Animal Farm. That's the point with those people.
So the Trump administration wonders why people are saying that they are trying to form a dictatorship. Well, look at the landscape. Arresting
more
Don
of this
Lemon,
in here because we get so much.
A protest in Minneapolis.
Need a shredding unit.
Is just insane, ridiculous, dictator-like. This is the playbook that dictators use.
In fact,
to
I'll make another one, and I'll just have both of these.
The will of the people away. It is as simple as that.
I guess I'm just incredibly tired of the lying and the gaslighting, because it's like these are the authoritarians who just want us dead and want to oppress us into oblivion.
Not what I
and yet
meant
they keep
to
trying
open.
to lie and use some form of like
This should
violent
also
empathy
have...
in order to get us to feel bad enough to not defend ourselves. And it's like, I'm just fucking tired of it. I'm
Come on. There we go.
tired of people lying, being able to strong-arm anything that they want, no matter how violent it is, and the rest of us who try to point out what's actually happening in reality, getting the flack for it. It just seems absolutely insane how the people who are lying and who are actually violent and who just want to kill you are the ones who can convince people that they are the ones in the right. Like, what the actual fuck? Don Lemon recorded himself going, okay, I'm conspiring to commit a crime, now I'm committing a crime, now I'm refusing to leave after being told to leave, right?
The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. It is considered the preferred amendment when you have to start balancing what's more important. The framers of the Constitution knew that a free press was essential to a democracy. Without a free press, you don't have a democracy.
I wish we had a free press, but unfortunately...
Now that should work.
Fortunately, we have a propagandistic class trying to control us plebs. Phoenix DS, thank you. They saying the journalists who participate in riots are innocent of consequences? Retarded!
And it's real clear that Donald Trump and company doesn't want a free press. The idea
now
that a journalist, which Don Lemon has been for 30 years, would walk into a church and film a demonstration which is of national interest, and then to say somehow, when you watch the video, they say he's part of the protest. Watch that video. He is covering...
No, he's definitely a part of it. And he's also the one that said trauma is the point. And it, again, echoes Jay Jones getting elected as a Virginia AG. Saying that people aren't going to change their opinions unless you make them feel something bad. According to these fuckwads, they don't have 1A protections because press would be quill and parchment, not video, you know, since they believe that for the 2A. The amount of people who hate the Second Amendment but want you to use your principles to defend them being violent psychopaths is also very frustrating. Phil Thomas, thank you. Okay, now do the Second Amendment.
I think that'll do it for today.
They forget
Thanks
freedom
for
of
showing
religion
up,
is also
y'all.
the first, imagine. Imagine if they had to live by their own principles. They would not
we'll
be able
probably
to.
be back tomorrow.
That's why when you try to use their own
Maybe for some
tactics
FS.
against them, they get incredibly fucking angry.
The protest. He is covering it. That's what journalists do. I covered riots. I was a local reporter in Los Angeles for 15 years, and I covered riots and floods and earthquakes and all sorts of things where I had to step into areas where there were police, where there was activity, private property. When you're covering an event like this, like a protest, which I've covered many, you step into it. And that's what journalists do. And that's what Don Lemon did. The idea that the Justice Department is saying he walked onto private property, that is insane.